Hello, Matt here with 5280 Armory. Last couple of weeks we've been shooting firearms from a company named Girsan. We started off with the MC9, we moved on to the MC9 Match, and now we're on to this new pistol. This is the Regard chambered 9mm. So let's take a closer look at what this pistol's all about. You've probably already noticed that it looks a lot like a Beretta 92 or an M9. You'd be 100% correct on that. This company is always going after military contracts. That's why this pistol's NATO approved, and many countries already use this firearm for their military and police forces. In the day and age of striker-fired polymer frame pistols, this Regard is like a walk down memory lane with its hammer and metal frame, not to mention the underappreciated lanyard loop. The controls on this metal frame are virtually identical to the Beretta. They did, however, dare to be a little different by adding finger grooves to the front strap. We were able to interchange the grips between the Beretta and the Regard without any trouble at all. The Beretta magazines are also interchangeable with the Regard. We'll plan on shooting it with the Beretta mags just to make sure they don't have any feeding issues. I don't really anticipate that's going to happen, but we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. Hey, and for you lefties, you're going to be happy to hear that it has a reversible mag release as well. And lastly, on the frame, Girsan definitely prefers the M1913 accessory rail. I don't think you can currently even get the Regard without the rail. Keep that in mind because sometimes holsters can be difficult to fit when they have this rail. The machine slide is iconically Beretta. There's no doubt about that. You can tell just by looking at it. The front sight is fixed, the rear sight is drift punch adjustable, the safety's ambidextrous, and the external extractor doubles as a loaded chamber indicator. One of the only small differences we noticed is the cocking serrations are vertical cut and a little bit deeper. As you can see, we're able to get the Beretta slide and barrel onto the Girsan frame, but it doesn't work the other way around. The Beretta has an added feature called a hammer pin. The Girsan doesn't. This is what prevents the Regard slide from fully locking onto the frame. The hammer pin is an added safety mechanism that Beretta has incorporated into their design. It is true that at first glance the Girsan and Beretta frames appear to be identical. The rails on the Regard are slightly larger, and the tolerance on the Inox Beretta is slightly more forgiving. We know this because we just had the Inox slide on this Girsan frame. But when we grab an M9 or a 92FS slide, we bind up almost immediately within the first couple of millimeters of reassembly. We also tried the slide from a used Beretta 92FS. It went on a little bit easier, but it was still pretty tight. So in conclusion, I'm sure that a competent gunsmith could mate the two together, but after getting a quote from that competent gunsmith, most would probably choose not to. And now for the fun part. Let's hit the range, we'll talk about the trigger, and of course we're going to do a lot of shooting. The Regard is, of course, a double-action, single-action trigger, just like the Beretta M9. Let's see what the pull weight is on the single-action. That one's right at about 5 pounds. Put a couple rounds down range and let's see where we're landing on target. One flyer for sure. Let me get a little closer to see how we did. With the exception of that one shot, wasn't a bad group, probably close to 2 inches. Let's get off the bench rest, let's try offhand, let's see how we do. All right, let's go get a closer look. I had mentioned that I was going to try the Beretta magazines in this Regard. I grabbed this one out of my M9 from the rental side. Let's give it a try. I'd say they work pretty good. I've got a universal holster that I'm using here. Pretty much works with just about everything I've got. But like I said earlier, when you're shopping for holsters, make sure that holster will fit the gun that has the rail on it. I'm going to head over to the pistol side of the range and see what kind of drills the guys have got cooked up for me. You really never know what they're going to have set up, so I'll meet you over on the other side. In this shot, we'll demonstrate that the magazines fall out the bottom of the mag well on cue, quickly and efficiently. We're going to have this Regard pistol along with other Girsan products down here at the shop. So why don't you come on down and take a look, or even take one out to the range and give it a try. 5280 Armory, Colorado's gun shop. We'll see you soon. Hey, and don't forget, if you like watching videos about firearms and supporting your Second Amendment, or you're from another country in which you had a Second Amendment, do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep this channel going. And thanks for watching.